Hey, Rick, just react to this one. Wow, it looks decent.
Wow, it looks decent. I mean, the data is really strong. By the way, people, when they first saw it, said the 430,000 or so jobs was a little below expectations. You know, what people have to start factoring in is there's just not enough people to come back into the workforce. So I was looking at the data this morning. There's 1.6 million people who are not in the workforce, who were, if you go back a couple of years, when we were pretty close to full employment. And you've had this, what is that number? You've had about that number that have retired. So to bring people back in, it's going to be hard to see 500,000 jobs any of these subsequent months. There's 11 million job openings. You've got a labor market. There's just not enough people that can come back in. So you're going to start to see these numbers decline a little bit, but the unemployment rate, I think, is going to continue to decline. So it's a white-hot labor market. There's no other way to describe it.
Rick, is this as good as it gets? And where does it leave this Fed?
I think it's as good as it gets from a labor perspective. I think the economy is moderating. I think you're seeing, when you look at some of the retail sales numbers that have come across globally, look at H&M yesterday, you're starting to see some of the data come off. You look at the housing market, boy, if anything was to suggest to you some form of stagflation, it would be in the housing market. So I think the economy, and this is part of why the Fed's in the toughest position that maybe I've ever seen them, is the economy starting to moderate in a bunch of ways. If you can't find the labor, and if your wage costs are going up, your input costs are going up, then companies will start to pare back a bit because you're seeing the consumer back off of these levels. So is it as good as it? Yeah, I think so. And this is why I think the Fed's got a tough job. And I think part of why I think it probably makes sense to get some 50s in when you've got an economy that's moderating. And I think they'll probably do that the next couple of meetings.